Is this a buy the dip opportunity, or is the sell-off going to get a whole lot worse? Well, yesterday we had a look at the CME gap, and we said there was a high probability that this level would get filled. And you can see over here on Bitcoin, again, CME is the futures traders chart, and we had the massive gap up based off of the debt ceiling news which took place over the course of the weekend, and consequently you had a massive gap that got left open, and you can see this candle that we just had has officially filled it. It came perfectly into the trend line on the bottom one from where the previous candle wicked into the high, and now the question is, are we going to bounce? Is this a buy the dip opportunity? That is what we're going to address on today's show. Make sure you smash the like button and we will get started with the show. So looking at the crypto bubbles chart over here, you can see, of course, on the day, most of the coins have been absolutely annihilated over here, but on the hourly, you're already starting to see some of the coins bounce. So small signs of life showing that there is demand. I know there were a lot of orders that were stacked at those lower levels, and those have officially been filled. So why did this happen? Well, one reason could be because of the easy money within the market. So if you look at this tweet from Harrison today, an influencer asked people to send him Ethereum for no reason. As of now, there have been over 3,000 transactions amounting to over $600,000, which is absolutely insane. Breaking this guy over here, 𝗵𝗠𝗆𝗍𝗍, has received over $240,000 in ETH in just 5 hours after asking DGens to send funds to his address for nothing in return. Guys, please, I mean, if you are donating, I'll make sure to put out a tweet with an ETH address, a Bitcoin address as well, even a USDT address, and feel free to start sending me some tips. This is absolutely insane. Why even come to work when you start to see things like this? Crazy, easy money in the market. When they scraped those addresses, they found out that some of the guys who are making those payments actually sent all their ETH out of the wallet, everything that they have. Who knows why? I think they think this reverse psychology or something, like maybe they're going to get some special coin in return for doing something like that. So easy money, dumb money within the market. Oftentimes you get these kind of flushes when the market becomes overheated, high funding rates, things like that, and then you have a reset. So could it be that it's that? Well, it is possible. Titan of crypto, I love this tweet that he put over here. He says that Bitcoin is in a pressure cooker, and he says progressing in a descending channel for almost 2.5 years, so a very, very long time. That is what you expect to be the entirety of a bear market. It's now sandwiched between the upper trend line and the 200-week simple moving average. So coming right into that level. And therefore, one of those zones need to give, right? One of these levels need to break. And the question is, which way are we going, up or down? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think that we break up out of this and end the bear market? Or are we going to have one more capitulatory event whereby we break down the 200 and flash crash again towards the downside? Well, if we do go to the downside, X marks the spot over here. I've given you the level. So if you see price start to break down below that 200 simple moving average, which is around that $25,000 level, and it starts to close there, we identified yesterday, that would be a cause for concern. And you could say with high probability that this is all going to have been a massive bull trap, and you can expect probable continuation to the downside. But we haven't yet seen that. At the moment, we still have the decorrelation between Bitcoin and the stock market. At the moment, Bitcoin coming back down, stock market also coming back down. I do expect that at some point there's going to be a mean reversion over here, which means that there should be a little bit of upside, at least for Bitcoin. Even if the stock market does continue down, they should bounce back towards each other or converge at some point in the next coming weeks. The dollar DXY, we've been looking at this W formation pattern for quite some time, and it is continuing to mount its assault towards the upside, with the upside target at 105.8. That is labeled as T2 on my chart, target 2. Remember, we had been looking at this all the way from these levels back in April when we were around 101.3, and we've had the expansion. I am also, remember, open to the idea that you could form a lower high over here, but we need to come down a lot lower in order to confirm that. At the moment, you have to give advantage to the bulls, at least the dollar bulls, saying that there is going to be continuation of this chart higher. And yesterday, we gave this trade setup over here. This is on the S&P 500 futures. ES1 with the exclamation mark is the ticker. I gave the trade on PrimeXBT. We took that trade. We're currently in the money over here. We scaled 3 orders in over here into the red. So our average order price was actually probably somewhere more around here. That was the average entry. So it's looking like a very, very solid trade setup. If you do want the full details of that trade and the rationale and idea behind it, make sure to go through and look at yesterday's video. You'll get the whole layout over there. And then also remember, send me a DM on Twitter if you do want 20% sign up bonus on PrimeXBT. They gave me a couple of sign-up codes that I can use for you guys for the fam. I had 1 or 2 guys who let me know in the comment section, and I've already sent you that code. So just bear in mind, usually it's a 7% sign-up bonus with up to a maximum of $7,000, meaning if you were to open an account and deposit $100,000, the most you can get is $7,000 in extra sign-up bonus money. Now you're getting up to $20,000 extra, remember, so it's 20% additional. So if you are going to be opening a big account or even a small account for that matter, you're already starting 20% in the profit. So check out the link in the description below. Everything is below. Here, click on PrimeXBT, sign up, go to my Twitter. Everything is explained there. Cool. Next. With regards to the stock market, you have here from Ottavio, a great tweet. He says the ratio of Nasdaq 100 to Russell 2000 is now retesting the peak of the tech bubble levels. And the situation is similar to today, where smaller companies perform poorly compared to large cap companies, was at a critical precursor of the tech bust. And he says here, an important reminder, it's not all about growth. It's about the price one pays for that expected improvement in fundamentals. Tech mega cap companies are currently trading nearly 30 times higher than projected earnings for 2024. I wish you guys could see Fred. One day I'm just going to dox him. I'm going to take the camera and turn it. He likes to come to the window and pull his faces here. Okay, so basically overvalued is what it's saying, regardless of what anyone may claim about the recent AI advancement. This is probably one of the most speculative markets in history. So very, very heated bubble, at least within AI. And if you go into this over here, you can see Nvidia, obviously, as you know, this has been a hot topic as of late, have joined Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon officially in the $1 trillion market cap club. But will they hold that market cap is the question. 10 years ago, they only had a market cap of 8 billion. That's Nvidia. And there is correlation between Nvidia and the AI cryptos. So Don shows over here, well, AI coins quickly losing a lot of momentum as soon as Nvidia loses a bit of steam. Obviously, BTC is impacting these corrections as well. Good to watch the correlation regardless, he says. Now, the point being over here is if you are dabbling in the hype of the AI narrative, which is fair enough, it creates trade opportunities. I just want to encourage you to be very, very careful that you don't overinvest, right? You don't want to go in too heavy into something like this when there is that correlation to Nvidia. If Nvidia experiences some sort of a blow off top, you're going to lose a whole lot of money very, very quickly. So be careful when you're looking at these like Rocket Pool, Ocean, Fetch AI, AGIX, all of these AI coins. Trade them with caution. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. It's just your friendly daily reminder, the voice of rationale in the space, I would like to say. Cool. Bitcoin over here. Let's have a look at Bitcoin on the 4-day chart. We are still treating this as a potential next higher low over the next coming days to weeks. It might take some time to play out over here, but if you start to see this 4-day candle, which has 1 day and 18 hours to go, move back up and close green, I would say with high probability of your confirmation that this area is your next higher low. I had the prior region marked as a breakdown zone, so let's just quickly grab that and delete these lines that are coming up. So the previous area that I marked as a major danger breakdown zone, we can now raise that level whereby you say, if you move this up here, and if price were to now come below $26,300 and you start to see closing candles below that level, then big bull trap. You can expect the high low is not going to hold and there's going to be expansion towards the downside. Levels of interest would be first, of course, 25, 23, and then $21,000. Those are the levels to watch. Otherwise, treat this as more than likely bulls are going to step in and it's probably going to be a higher low. That's what I'm looking at. We also looked at yesterday the Ichimoku cloud over here, price coming directly into the Ichimoku cloud, testing that level, and we're expecting a bounce off that zone. So this could technically be a gift coming back into the cloud one more time at about 26.7 is exactly where that cloud comes in, and then you would expect a bounce off of that zone. So zooming out over here, what I wanted to outline to you is, again, remember the ADX, the DI negative and positive. That is the DI negative and positive is the green for the positive, the red for the negative. When the green crossed above the red and you had the average directional index, which is the thick blue line, start to tick on up, then you had an expansive move towards the upside, which gave some phenomenal gains, right? Very, very good gains, especially compared to traditional markets. You were looking at like 30-40% each time. Same thing happened over here on 10th of March. And then yesterday we came very, very close, but you can see it didn't quite cross. We were looking at this region as the next potential cross. Right as they came, they kissed each other and turned the other direction. So keep watching this level on the Ichimoku cloud. When green crosses above red, you have the ADX, the blue line, which has now started to reset. And once that cross takes place like that and the reset happens, you can expect that probably that's your next high low and you have a big expansive move. So this is, again, 2-day chart. I am talking here towards the swing traders, the high time frame traders, those of you who are looking to hold your positions for weeks to months. Low time frame traders will get onto those charts shortly. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. This is still a pretty bullish formation, right? Bullish formation coming into a wedge, getting tighter and tighter over here, still holding that level, but grinding into the upper resistance, the range high. And the more you grind into resistance, the higher the probability of an explosive breakout. But remember, that's the thing with Bitcoin dominance. You have to control your pivot levels because Bitcoin dominance can soar up whilst price is going down as well. So it's something to be careful of. It just means that if Bitcoin were selling off and dominance was breaking out, altcoins would be selling off even harder than what Bitcoin is. At the moment, I really think where it's all at is between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum has been trading a lot better than Bitcoin. It's been leading a lot of these moves and so far started to clear higher resistance levels a lot sooner than what Bitcoin did. So I find this pattern to be very, very interesting and we'll watch it over the coming days. Here's your trend line retest, which should come today at 47.73%. Next, Bitcoin at the pivot level. Currently, although as scary as it may be for those of you who have just woken up to see prices coming down, it is nevertheless still holding above the pivot level. The pivot level today is at 27,091. What is the pivot level? Simply it means if you're above the pivot level, pressure is towards the upside. If you're below the pivot level, pressure is towards the downside. So as long as you hold above that level, the RSI will have a chance to continue to trend up, meaning that the strength of the move will start to build towards the upside and it will give it a chance to cross these moving averages. Let's just show you the moving averages. There you go. The yellow and the pink will have a chance to cross towards the upside. That is the 12 and the 24 MA. So that's what we're looking at there. If you lose the pivot level though, and you come back down one more time, then ultimate buy the dip zone comes in around the 200 EMA, currently about that 25K level and rising. So you can see how it lines up with the high time frame, what I've just shown you. Between that $25,000 and $27,000 level is the area of interest. Okay, what about Ethereum? Let's quickly show you Ethereum over here. So Ethereum already broke the descending trend line over here. It is also holding above the pivot level. It actually wicked directly into that pivot level today and has started to bounce. Pivot level is $1,859. So 1859 is your level for Ethereum. You can see the cross between the 12 and the 24 EMA has already taken place over here. That will be adding additional support anytime that Ethereum comes back into that level. So that's what we're watching for ETH. If ETH loses these zones and comes down, then your 200 EMA is coming in at 1715. That is the area of interest. So key levels, very key levels, lining up with the pivot levels I just showed you, which works around the RSI. That's how that pivot level is calculated. I have another pivotal level for you, and that is the key monthly level. So the previous monthly low came in right here where price is bouncing off at the moment, which is $26,965. Look at the rejection from the trend line. Very interesting level, right? So trend line comes down. Rejection from that level, which also happens to be the quarterly open. Have a look over there. Quarterly open, exact tap of that level. Easy short, came down. I mean, full disclosure, I didn't short it. I don't really want to be shorting Bitcoin right now. I think that the risk to reward is still higher towards the upside. Even if Bitcoin were to break down majorly, I just think that from a timing perspective, right? I also focus my trades on time. And if enough time passes, the bear market is nearing the end, my probability of winning on those short trades starts to diminish. Quick trades, yes. Day trades, of course, perfect. But I'm not interested to be holding swing shorts down to 10 to 12K, even if we were hypothetically to get there. Timing wise, it's expired for me. Basically, the shorts have expired from a timing perspective. I'd rather hold a cash position and be indirectly short by being in cash, if that makes sense. So watching this level over here, key monthly level needs to hold. If that level gets lost, then this is your high time frame perspective of what's going on, right? Again, you got that range low. This is the new range, right? When I say range low, I'm talking about the new range that we're focusing on. Price being capped within this level. That new range low comes in at $25,000. We'll see if that can hold, especially on a closing basis. That will be an important zone to watch. All right, I think we had, let's quickly put on Litecoin over here. There was something going on with Litecoin. So Litecoin obviously bounced perfectly off the 200-day moving average. If you get another test into that, it is an opportunity to get in. It also happens to be the previous monthly low. So a nice high confluence level. I would be willing to take a long over there with my stop below the wick on the left, meaning stop loss goes at about 81.98, rounded up 82. And you have a clean, easy, beautiful entry over there looking for a push back towards the previous monthly high at 104. Okay, Bitcoin over here on the 4-hour time frame. Look, you can see I'm not the biggest fan, remember, of the stochastic RSI type of trading, but nevertheless, it is coming into those reset levels. Of course, if price loses the pivot levels, you have to tie this all in, right? To take it into context, right? Tying in the 4-day time frame that I gave you, tying in the daily RSI pivot level, as well as the key monthly level. If that key monthly level gets lost, of course, this stochastic RSI can continue to trend down aggressively and prices can move down hard. But if those key pivot levels are held and price stays above that, and simultaneously you start to see this turn back up, well, that could create a very nice opportunity. Let's make that white. That could create a very nice opportunity to get long. You reclaim your moving averages over here as well. So get back above, swing failure pattern. So you hold this level, right? All these guys were longing. So you create that as a swing failure pattern back above, and you hold that level, and then you can try and challenge the trend line. It is going to be an interesting trend line to try and break. This should be the how manyth time that we would be touching it. So we've got 1 over there, 2 over there. Let's give it to the trend line. 3rd touch. This would be the 4th touch, and we hopefully can start to break that and challenge the range high coming in around that $30,000 level. So that's what I'm watching over there. That is Bitcoin on the low time frames. Let's quickly have a look at Ethereum with the 4-hour chart over here. See what that one looks like. Look at that. ETH has already received its golden cross. So what is the golden cross? The golden cross is simply put where the 50 EMA crosses above the 200 EMA. They're both postured in a beautiful fashion in terms of they're not aggressively angled towards the downside, but starting to smooth out and slowly move up. This 50 EMA test, even if it comes a little bit low into the 200, could provide a really, really great opportunity to add to a long position for now. So basically for now, benefit to the bulls. Buy a literal, excuse my language, ladies, ball here. Buy a ball here. We're literally just holding this. If you start to lose those pivot levels, all of this goes out the window, and then you start to challenge below the key quarterly, which is coming in at 1821, and then of course then trouble starts to come, right? So liquidation levels, what are the levels? You can see there is a whole lot of liquidity over here for Bitcoin. It's all over the place at the moment. 25,750 is your lower end. I wouldn't want to see price closing even 4-hour candles around here. If it got to this liquidation level, I would want to see it happen quite quickly. Upside liquidity is starting to build up at 28,850. So kind of caught within this range, right? Between 2850 and 25,000-ish dollars is more or less the range. Here you can look at the funding rates have started to go negative. Guys are starting to short the market, but it's very, very small. Look at already the amount and aggressive shorts that have started to step in at these levels. starting to create those thick blue bands. If you look at this level, this is about $20 million worth of liquidations. Here's another $20 million. So probably about $50-60 million worth of liquidations to be grabbed. And there isn't as much on the lower end. So that's what I'm watching over there. 1 hour chart, you broke the trend line down. Very, very simple. Same thing, you're looking for potential swing failure. Come back into that zone. If you get a bearish retest into the trend line and you start to see a rejection from this zone, well, then you may be going a whole lot lower, right? Then you need to look to your range low at 26,500 for your next potential swing failure or deviation. Then that might not be the swing failure. It might happen. So that's option 1. Option 2 is it's going to come down to 26,553. So that is it, guys. I hope that helps. BitGet Pizza Day promotion. No clue what that's about, but I can tell you on BitGet, you can trade without KYC. So if you are somebody that's worried about the KYC limits, then check out BitGet. There is a link in the description below. You get up to $8,000 in sign-up bonuses, as well as a whole bunch of different fancy tricks that they have on their platform, like grid trading, bots, copy trading, etc. It's all on there. Make sure to check it out. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's show. Thank you all for watching. Have an absolutely stellar day. Cheers for now.